It is Liverpool city centre's oldest surviving building and a fine example of Queen Anne-style architecture, yet the builders and architects responsible for creating Bluecoat have remained unconfirmed, until now. New research has discovered fresh information about the origins of this much-loved Liverpool building, which dates back to 1717, starting life as a charity school before becoming a centre for the contemporary arts. The information was found by examining records as part of heritage project My Bluecoat, ahead of the building's 300th anniversary in 2017.
I think we'd always had the information about who built it, but everyone had been looking for who was the architect. Now, the term architect was not really something that was in kind of popular parlance in the early 18th century. It was something that only really came into common usage maybe 40 or 50 years after Bluecoat was built. So there was never any record of that. But the actual financial records around who was paid for doing various pieces of work in creating this building, we'd got all of that information sitting right in front of us. So it was just a question of re-evaluating it, looking at who was paid specific amounts and looking at what those historic roles might have been.
Bluecoat staff now believe they have identified the builders as master mason Edward Litherland and engineer Thomas Steers, the same duo responsible for Liverpool's famous Old Dock, as well as a number of other buildings around Liverpool. As pointed out in the research, the term architect in the 1700s was rare, with masons and engineers like Litherland and Steers carrying out design work that would nowadays fall under an architect's remit. The central role during the construction period was confirmed by careful analysis of the account books. But who exactly were these two men?
Thomas Steers, who's a name that a lot of people do know in Liverpool. People might remember Steers House that was demolished before Liverpool won. And Thomas Steers is quite well known as the creator or the designer and engineer behind Liverpool Old Dock, which was such a massive deal, a huge kind of transformative impact on early Liverpool, and it just turned Liverpool, that was a small town, into the city that it's become. But Edward Litherland, who worked with him, no one had really heard of him before. We can see him through the accounts for Bluecoat. He's also in the accounts for the building of the Old Dock, and he and he and Steers then went on to build lots of other buildings in Liverpool. Now, those aren't standing anymore. St George's Church that was up in Derby Square, or buildings that are now underneath where the India building is, they're gone, so we don't see those as kind of signposts to how important this partnership between these two men was. But Bluecoat's still standing and pretty much in the same state that it would have been in 1717.
The discovery comes ahead of 2017, when Bluecoat will celebrate 300 years since the dedication of its building in 1717. The tercentenary will be commemorated with a celebratory programme of special exhibitions and events over a period of 300 days throughout 2017. Running from the 4th of February to the 29th of November. There's also an opportunity to find out more about the discovery at Bluecoat's Heritage Weekend, taking place this Friday until Sunday, as part of the nationwide Heritage Open Days programme. Nathan Griffiths, BayTV News.